We are here today on Gleaning and Gathering with our very own Sarah.
Yes.
Sarah Heimlich, 19 years old. She is getting ready to head off to college, and in her words, this is when you finally get to be on the podcast. When you leave.
When you leave. Yes.
No, it's true. She's heading off to college this next week, and so next Tuesday we'll be dropping her off at God's Bible School and College, and she's going to be starting a new season of her life. Mm-hmm. But that's not the only reason that I'm having you on the podcast. But I did think about, I won't have this opportunity as often. So
it's true.
Sarah, for the last few years, has had the wonderful opportunity of cleaning my office and trying to make sense of the mess that's here. So that's one of the ways that she has helped. But she's the third daughter, and she is planning on studying at God's Bible School this year. Mm-hmm. What are you planning on studying, Sarah?
So to start, I'm just doing kind of a general studies degree for about 2 years. And then if the Lord leads me differently, after that, I'll be looking at going into nursing, hopefully.
Nursing. So. Yeah. So what was your inspiration to study nursing? Any particular reason?
Yeah. So when I was a kid, actually, one time our family got pretty sick, and I didn't get sick during that run, and I took care of quite a few of the people. And anytime someone would get sick in our household, it sounds kind of crazy, but I would get excited because I just loved being able to take care of them or give them what they need. And it was really just one of those things that even as a kid, I just loved being able to help. And so I would do it with animals, and then it translated as I got a little bit older into people. And that was something that, I think Jesus gave me, but being able to help as a kid and seeing any sort of scrape or seeing how people took care of those that were injured or something was always super fascinating to me. So I was just fascinated from it when I was a little girl, and then gradually it became something that I was like, I want to go into this vocation if possible. So yeah.
Cool. Well, it's certainly a needed profession. Mm-hmm. And look forward to seeing how God leads you in that. So let's talk a little bit about your growing up life. Okay. What is for you one core memory, something that really kind of defines your childhood? Anything in particular?
There's definitely a lot that are like crumpled together and just kind of Sarah's growing up years. I think just kind of in general, one of the big ones is being all over the place as a family. I think one of the core memories is the California trip that we took in 2015, 2014, something like that. 2014. And we traveled thousands of miles across the United States. And we just got to do that as a family. And that was something, being stuck in a car with all your siblings is a really, really beautiful thing. But that was kind of where I think the first realization clicked in, where we just do a lot as a family. And I think another one that probably is the biggest formational memory was my 16-year trip with you. That was something that really, I think, etched kind of who I would become and who I am becoming and just kind of the course that I would take in a way that was super formational to me. And that was definitely a core memory for me.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about that. So we went to Southern Indiana, and one of the places that I had picked out, the reason that we picked out that location was that they had trail horseback riding.
Yes.
And so we went there, but it was a neat place. West Baden Springs Hotel. It was a beautiful location. Set there on 3,400 acres, and it was a beautiful place. What was one thing about that trip that stuck out to you the most?
Yeah, I would probably have to say hiking. There were lots and lots of trails, and they were all so beautiful. We didn't walk all of them. We walked, I think, close to 10 to 15 miles-ish, and that was so lovely.
And by the way, that was in January.
And yes, it was in January.
So her birthday's in January.
Yeah.
So, but thankfully, I mean, we did have some snow,
Yeah.
but overall
wasn't
it was,
too terrible. But because of the type of person I am, I have a hard time sitting down and talking to someone one-on-one. And so hiking gave me something to do, and it kind of, developed that depth of talking, I think, in a way that provided a safe space, and just, the measures you went to make me feel like I could have fun was something that was super, super valuable. And I just, specifically on that trip, I think I opened up a whole lot more to you emotionally, and then as well as just like thoughts about the future. And it wasn't received with condemning, but like, let's talk about this. And so through hiking, that was something that I really loved, because I love walking and talking. And so that was something that was super formational, but then super enjoyable to me, for sure.
Yeah. Well, it was a fun time for me as well. And I value those memories, and I'm glad for them. So as you're thinking about your childhood, what's one thing that you feel like that as parents that we got right? That you're like, yes, I want to do that with my kids as well.
Yeah. There's definitely lots that I have seen you guys do that I really want to do with my future children. But one of the things that I have really, really appreciated, let's see if I can limit it to one, doing as much as we can together. That, because now that I am growing up, my siblings are my best friends, and there are lots of my friends that don't have the privilege of having their family as their best friends, and that breaks my heart. But because of the emphasis you and Mom have put on family time, it has shaped the way I see the world, because we were put in a safe enough place to discuss in disagreements, not just this is what you have to believe, but okay, so let's talk about why we believe this. And then if we have questions, it was, so everything that we do or did, you guys did it to the best of your ability to have it as family time. And it was never like, you guys never singled us out because of questions or beliefs that we were thinking about or anything like that, but challenged us in a way that just taught us to think more. But yeah, in that, it was, at the end of the day, we were family, and it was going to be such that, like, we were going to do certain things together, eat together. That's something that's been super important. And yeah, just living life in a close-knit, and if things get tough, we talk through it, sort of thing. So just that commitment, the commitment that we need to have for family and siblings and parents. So that's something that was super and is super important to me that you guys have taught us.
Yeah, well, there was I think a road that we traveled that was different than a lot of your peers. And for us, that was intentional. Again, not just saying, hey, your primary group is going to be your peer group, but our primary group is our family. So, when we go to convention, we go as a family. When we do things, we primarily are doing it together as a family, which has limited, to a degree, the interaction that you've had with your peer group. Do you feel like that has hindered you at all in your growth and development? I mean, have you felt like you've missed something in that?
No. Well, yes, I do feel like I've missed a lot of things, but it is not things that I would have want to have had. Maybe that didn't make sense. There's lots of baggage that a lot of my peer group does have that I never had to experience. And so because of that, I sometimes, don't understand, but that's things that I believe no one that is 19 should understand.
Things that you've been protected from.
Right. Yes. Yeah. And so, like, I have missed a lot of things because I've been raised in a really, like, beautifully knit home. But, there's that sometimes boundary where it's like they have this thing that I've never experienced, but also, like, God never wanted anybody to have that baggage. And so being in a home where I've been protected of that at times, and especially when I was younger, it was my perspective on it was like, why would they ever have to experience that? Or like, man, I can't believe I don't understand what they're going through, in almost a negative sense, but seeing it in a positive light, that I've missed out on that because like Jesus gave me a family and parents that like would have never let that happen to the best of their ability. And so, yeah, I do feel like there's a sense at which I may not like relate as much to some of my peers, but that is not something that I ever regret growing up with, if that makes sense. So, but as far as in a positive light, I had plenty of socialization as a kid. Growing up and being in a homeschooled family for a little bit, people wonder if you get enough socialization. You definitely do. And I had great conversations through my teenage and child years, friends all over the place that, I would have never gotten to meet if we hadn't traveled as much. So yeah, there's lots of things that I have experienced and then haven't, but like such is life.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So on the other side of that, what do you feel like that maybe looking back objectively at your childhood that you would say, I think that could have been different, and with my family, with my children, this is what I would do differently than the way that you were raised? Anything come to mind?
I definitely remember the busyness that sometimes we got caught up in, and I don't think it's limited to just us. Like, I think that's something that every human usually struggles with, and if they haven't, they will. So, yeah, I specifically remember, I think it was junior year of high school, something like that. I just started getting caught up in the tiny little busy things. And it's one of those things where it's hard to zoom out of life. And I think growing up where it's like, okay, we can get these things done because it is stuff that does need done, I think can create a track for your mind that is not always good to run its race course, because frankly, if you don't get off, the race course doesn't really stop. And so, let's see if I can put it into words. I think being intentional with taking time as a young family, and also for you as a parent, like slowing down your mind and, I don't know, it's putting an example of what it looks like to rest, not just your body, but also your mind. And I've seen that as an example, as like you guys have come farther in your parenting and also personal journeys, where you guys take, days of prayer, or those manufactured things, let's go to camp. And it's just a time of slowing down. But I remember as a kid, that was a little bit harder to differentiate. And definitely when I got into more independent years, I didn't quite know what it looked like to pace myself as far as mentally. So I don't even know what that completely looks like to example that to others or teach my kids. But yeah, being intentional with, what am I feeding my mind? And am I taking time to actively rest in Jesus with the parts of who I am physically, mentally, and, emotionally. So those parts, I think I would want to explore and dive deeper into what that looks like to enter that in a healthy way.
Yeah.
So.
No, I think there's definitely been seasons in our life that I completely agree. We've been way too busy. We've taken on too many things. And because of that, there have been consequences as a result of that. And learning those lessons and doing differently is definitely something that I think is a lesson that can be learned, and hopefully you'll do better than we did in terms of how you develop that balance in your own life. As you're looking forward to college, is there anything in particular that you're particularly excited about?
Oh, this is a good question. I am personally excited to just expand and meet lots of new people. I love meeting people and figuring out them and their personality and all the things. And so I'm super excited about conversations, and I want to have lots of conversations. And that's one of the things I'm super, super excited about. And then just being able to ask questions to the mentors, because there's a lot of great people with a lot of great life experience at GVS. And so I'm super, super excited to just, go and fellowship with them, but then also pick their brains for wisdom, because they have a lot of it. And I want to use my time there and the people that are there just to develop those relationships and see what wisdom and opportunities and conversations Jesus has for me, because those are going to be cool.
They are. And I'm excited for you about that. So is there anything else in particular that you want to share? Anything that I haven't asked you that you'd like to answer?
I do. Yeah. Some of the things that I wish I knew when I was little, like going out, like leaving family, you start to value the little moments and the things that like you thought were annoying before. And something Jesus has been showing me consistently is your now is a gift. That's why it's called the present. And just I think he's trying to unwrap my eyes, and I'm trying to see better that he's given me the gift of the present and I need to enjoy it. So that's a lesson, and I'm saying it because I want to be kept accountable to living in the present. But we as Christians have, the opportunity to live a joyful life, because we are people of hope, which is super, super cool. But if we're not careful, we can get caught up in the mundane and in the busy, and losing that joy to the present is never a happy thing. And so I want to, go into the school year with a realistic outlook, but also have the joy of the present in mind, and that I can live today, because if I'm not careful, it'll become a memory without me even realizing it. So taking the memories from my childhood into the new present of college is going to be something that Jesus will help me with. But encourage people to enjoy living in the present.
And to appreciate what you have, where you are. It's a good word. Well, thank you, Sarah, for taking time.
Thank you.
To record here on Gleaning and Gathering. And I appreciate all that you've done to make my office a wonderful space to work in over these last few years. And it's been a wonderful joy to have you here at home, and looking forward to what God has for you in the future.